Hello there, you're watching Vnews Bulletin. I'm Vnews presenting you today top stories as usual.
National Buddhist Congress opens in Hanoi. Prime Minister attends Green Economy Forum and Exhibition. And later on, Miss Tourism candidates experience Cern La culture.
The 9th National Buddhist Congress opened in Hanoi on November 28th, with President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc attending.
The Congress brought together 1,091 delegates, including Buddhist dignitaries, monks, nuns, and followers. Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhẫn, chairman of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangh's Executive Council, called on its monks, nuns, and followers to carry forward the spirit of solidarity and harmony to better take care of people's well-being and happiness. Addressing the event, President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc affirmed that the party and state persistently pursue the policy of respecting and guaranteeing the right to freedom of belief and religion, and non-belief and non-religion, as well as equality between religions, ensuring that the practice of religions is conducted in line with laws, charters, and regulations recognized by the state. He asked the Sangha to uphold good values of Buddhism and consolidate its position as the only Buddhist organization in Vietnam for monks, nuns, and followers, both at home and abroad.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính held a phone talks with his French counterpart, Elizabeth Borne, on November 28th.
Prime Minister Chính expressed his gratitude to the French government and people for supporting 5.5 million doses of vaccine, contributing to Vietnam's efforts to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Chính proposed that France create conditions for Vietnam's agricultural products to access its market, and that France urged the European Commission to consider removing the yellow card for Vietnamese seafood. French Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne expressed his wish to strengthen cooperation with Vietnam in the fields of digital economy, digital transformation, infrastructure, and especially renewable energy. She agreed to promote the full and effective implementation of the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement to take its advantage. Welcoming the results of cooperation in culture, education, and health between the two countries, Prime Minister Chính proposed that France increase the number of scholarships for Vietnamese students, contributing to strengthening people-to-people exchanges between the two countries, as supporting Vietnam in the restoration and preservation of cultural heritage recognized by UNESCO.
Green Economy Forum Exhibition 2022 held by the European Chamber of Commerce kicked off in Ho Chi Minh City on November 28th. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the event.
Green Economy Forum and Exhibition aims to support Vietnam in achieving its COP26 commitments and its National Green Growth Strategy socio-economic development goals. The event will run until November 30th. Addressing the plenary session, Prime Minister Chính said that climate change and green development are key objectives for Vietnam, one of the 5 countries hardest hit by climate change, with the aim of bringing prosperity, well-being, and happiness to the people. The Prime Minister called for global unity in combating climate change and promoting green development. He said all policies must be people-oriented and people must participate in policy making and enforcement. He said the Vietnamese government will continue to improve the investment environment, reducing input costs for enterprises, encouraging the development of green economy, circular economy, energy transition, and digital transformation, among others. The same day, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met European Commissioner for Environment, Oceans and Fisheries, Virginia Sinkevicius, who was in Vietnam to attend the Green Economy Forum and Exhibition. Prime Minister Chính affirmed Vietnam attaches importance to green development and the realization of international commitments on forests, seas, oceans, and climate change fight. Significance highly valued the country's efforts and commitments to implement green and anti-climate change policies, including the roadmap for achieving emissions by 2050. Also on November 28th, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính received Dutch Minister for Foreign Trade and Development Cooperation, Lisa Seremaker. He said Vietnam always treasures the comprehensive partnership with the Netherlands. He recommended the Netherlands continue assisting Vietnam in climate change adaptation, green and sustainable agricultural development, biodiversity protection, and development of seaports, green economy, and tourism in the Mekong Delta. A country will continue standing side by side with the latter to further intensify bilateral cooperation in all spheres, particularly the priority areas of climate change adaptation.
The 17th session of the National Assembly Standing Committee opened in Hanoi on November 28th and will last only one day.
Under the chair of National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ, the committee gave opinions on the outcomes of the 4th session of the 15th National Assembly and preparations for the legislature's 2nd extraordinary session and the 5th regular session in May next year. Regarding the National Assembly's 2nd extraordinary session, Huệ said the Prime Minister has submitted to the National Assembly Standing Committee 7 urgent issues that need to be handled early. They include the National Master Planning in 2021 to 2030 with a vision to 2050, a draft revised law on medical examination and treatment, and a number of financial and budgetary issues, including solutions to handle problems and inadequacies at some toll stations and transport infrastructure projects under the BOT investment fund.
The 19th session of the Western Central Pacific Fisheries Commission opened in the central city of Da Nang on November 28th.
This is the most important meeting of the Western and Central Pacific Fisheries Commission in a year, to review its activities, put forward policies and measures to manage tuna fishing in the region in the subsequent year, and consider applications for cooperating non-member status of countries, including Vietnam. Vietnam since 2009 has been worked with official member countries, 7 cooperating non-member, and 7 territories, to implement provisions on management and conservation of migratory fishery resources in the Western and Central Pacific. The Vietnamese sector is gradually transforming from small-scale fisheries to that towards sustainable development, with the orientation of increasing aquaculture output and reducing that of fish exploitation.
The first batch of fresh pomelo from Bến Tre for export to the U.S. was announced at a ceremony held in the Mekong Delta province on November 28th.
After over 5 years of negotiations, the U.S. Department of Agriculture officially licensed the import of the fruit earlier this year, making it the 7th fresh fruit of Vietnam permitted to enter the market, following mango, longan, lychee, dragon fruit, rambutan, and star apple. The Chan Thursday Fruit Import-Export Group Joint Stock Company in Cho Lac District is the one behind the shipment of the first pomelo batch. Vietnam's pomelo plantations cover 105,400 hectares in total, yielding nearly 905,000 tons annually. Of the total area, Bến Tre accounts for about 10,000 hectares with an annual productivity of more than 200,000 tons. The province has so far been granted 25 planting area codes to export green skin pomelo to the US and the EU.
Vietnam's sweet potatoes have just got the green light to enter the Chinese market via official channels.
According to a notice from the General Administration of Customs of China, sweet potatoes of Vietnam must meet phytosanitary requirements, which are related to cultivation, monitoring, processing, storage, packaging, and transportation. Earlier, Chinese customs officers scheduled to conduct a virtual survey of potato growing areas and packaging facilities in Vietnam in late October. Sweet potato is one of Vietnam's important agricultural products. Most of its plantations concentrate in the Mekong Delta province of Vinh Long, with more than 13,000 hectares under the crop. Currently, Vietnam has 11 kinds of fruits that are exported via official channels to China. Of these fruits, Vietnam has signed with China protocols on phytosanitary requirements for 3 kinds, including mangosteen, passion fruit and durian.
Contestants of Miss Tourism World 2022 recently came to Bắc Âu village in the northern province of Sơn La's Vân Hồ district as part of the experience tour of Vietnam's heritage regions.
The 71 beauties from around the world engage in an array of cultural activities of local ethnics, including thaking dance, chuang and bao or boat rowing. They participate in photo shooting and filming sessions serving the promotion of such as Backlong Glass Bridge, a pine forest in Ang Village, Dai Yam Waterfall, and a Tia Hill. The contestants joined 1,000 locals to perform Xòe Thái, the unique folk dance of the Thai ethnic minority group. Sơn La is among the 5 heritage regions earmarked for the contestants to visit and experience. The remaining destinations are Hà Nội, Ninh Bình, Phú Thọ, and Vĩnh Phúc. The final night of Miss Tourism World 2022, themed Bringing the World to Vietnam, will be held in the northern province of Vĩnh Phúc on December the 3rd.
The Eagle Human exhibition from artist Ngô Xuân Bỉnh has opened at the Hanoi Museum as part of 50 events within the Hanoi Creative Design Festival in 2022 with the theme Creativity and Technology.
Most of humanity will eventually live in urban areas, which is the future of global existence. We will aim for a city of beauty.
This is the largest exhibition in the artist's career, featuring more than 200 lacquer and oil paintings and more than 100 materials such as bronze, stone, and wood. These works are designed for urban spaces, contributing to creating a colorful cultural life for modern citizens.
No matter how high the kite flies, it is still attached to a string. I can let my creativity and imagination go as far as I can, but I will never be separated from the soul of the nation.
According to Bin, it takes humanity thousands of years to form an ego or national identity, but only takes a few decades, or even just a few years, to erase the cultural ties typical of a region or a nation, such as craft villages, customs, architecture, farming methods, and religion. He therefore always takes tradition as the source of his works. The exhibition will run until the end of March.
Cho Tàn Rực Rỡ or Glorious Ashes by Bùi Thạc Chuyên won the Golden Balloon Award at a festival which took place in France from November 18th to 27th.
Adapted from 2 short stories by writer Nguyễn Ngọc Tử, the film was honored for the poetic beauty depicted in its shimmering, shunting frames. The 160-minute film tells the longing love story of 3 women for the man they choose to spend their whole lives with. As the return of Chuyên after over 10 years of absence, the film will be available for audience from January the 2nd. The festival Dates 3 continents has been organized annually since 1979 to honor thematic works from Asia, Africa, and Latin America. The Golden Balloon is the most prestigious award at the festival.
And that's the end of our bulletin. Thank you for being here with us. We hope to see you again soon.